Beastmasters Club, experiencing the world's finest whiskey, one bottle at a time.
Hello, whiskey freaks. Welcome once again to the Beastmasters Club podcast. Tonight we're bringing you, it was a really fun event. It was our first One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer live contest. Just a note, we recorded this in Chinatown and in New York, and there was literally a dragon parade complete with drums and fireworks going off outside. So if it's a little noisy, please bear with us. But it was a really fun event. Our two guest contenders, Shane Helmick and Nate Woodruff, both brought their favorite bourbon, scotch, and beer. And we had our guest judges, Dana Mrs. Smoky Beast, Ben Paluba, and Jake the Whiskey Warrior Cahill, give their commentary. And we had an awesome crowd of 20 or so guests. So thanks to everybody who came and voted for the winner. Just before we get started, a little club news. We have our next event here in Manhattan on October 27th. Tickets are now live on the site, so go and pick them up. We're going to announce the subject and our guests for this live podcast recording and tasting shortly. There's only about 20 seats still available, so if you want to join us, please go and get a ticket. So without further ado, here is One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer. Enjoy.
The Beastmasters Club is now in session.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Welcome. There's literally going to be like a dragon coming down the road.
Yeah. You timed us perfectly.
Well, we are in Chinatown, sir.
I pointed all the mics right at the window. That's awesome. If it's your first time, welcome. A little bit about us, Beastmasters Club. Ben and Dana and I, Jake, run. We do these live events. We do a podcast. You can go to our site and buy private barrels of whiskey, so check it out. A little other news. We have an event coming up October 27th, and we wanted to give you guys kind of first crack. So it's live right now on our site. We have not emailed anybody. They sell out usually the same day, so if anybody wants to come, buy a ticket. We're going to blast it out on Monday. So welcome to our first One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer. Hope you're all Thorogood fans. Yeah.
Thoroughly. I'd like to propose a theme for the next one.
Yeah.
I drink alone.
It's just Shane. It's just Shane drinking by himself on YouTube.
It's everybody's actually going to have to be turned out and face a wall and just stare at a wall, or maybe even at a mirror and just drink.
That's pretty much how I drink every night, Ben.
And
What?
pass out and drool on themselves. That's what we're going for.
So I think the format should be pretty self-explanatory, but just to go through the rules, these are our celebrity whiskey idol judges. Ben, my lovely wife, Mrs. Smoky Beast, Dana.
You can call me Paula.
Paula. And Randy at the end there.
Straight up now, too.
Jake, the Whiskey Warrior Cahill. Check him out.
Yes, check me
out.
out.
And so they will be giving you their tasting notes and commentary. These are our contenders tonight. We have Shane Helmick, who runs How to Drink Whiskey. Say hello, Shane.
Yeah, welcome, Shane.
And Nate, whose fucking job it is to go hike up beautiful places and take pictures and drink whiskey and take pictures of it. Fuck you.
From Whiskey with a View.
From Whiskey with a View, yes. Check out Whiskey with a View on Instagram and check out howtodrinkwhiskey.com. I think you can spell it either way, right? Either way. So they've each brought some contenders in the categories of a bourbon, a scotch, and a beer for your enjoyment. So they are going to introduce their picks. Our judges are going to give you their tasting notes.
Allegedly expert opinion.
And Jen's been recruited to pass around a hat. You're going to tear off one of these little pictures of them with their dogs at the bottom, and for your vote for which one. So we're going to do one bourbon. You'll all vote. We'll declare a winner of that round. We're going to do one scotch. You'll all vote. We'll declare a winner of that round. If one of these gentlemen wins both rounds, then the beers are just for chasers. If not, we're going to do round 3 and vote, and then whoever takes the rubber match wins the thing. Any questions?
What's a rubber match?
No one really knows.
The tiebreaker.
Okay, thank you.
That's when we're done drinking all this, Jake.
It's you trying to get the... Never mind.
Come on!
And you always lose.
Rubber, I barely know her.
We're going to change your name from Whiskey Warrior to Rubber Match.
Gross.
You can't. You don't have my login information.
Shall we begin?
Let's get to
Everybody
drinking.
excited.
Thank you guys all. Thank you guys all for coming to the first Obasob. One bourbon, one Scotch, one beer.
That's not sticking. That's
No, it's not. It's not. But
If you say it a couple more times, maybe it will tonight.
No.
I mean,
You
if
never
everybody
know.
gets drunk enough, we're all going to just
Stranger-
sound like
stranger
we're
things
saying
have happened.
Obasob anyway. So it won't matter.
Obasob.
All right.
All right,
Well, but thank you
so-
guys for coming. We really appreciate the support. So thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
Nate, did you like to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
As Steve so eloquently said, that is my job to fucking climb mountains and take pictures of whiskey. Generally, when I tell people what I do for a living, I'm responded with "fuck you." So that is the common one. Sometimes it's "oh, that's so cool," but usually they're pretty mad. So I've worked in the whiskey industry for 4 years, and I decided I wanted to quit my pretty cushy job and start to just go out on my own and do what I loved, which was just travel and drink whiskey and meet people and take pictures of it. So I've been doing that for a little while now. I'm pretty deeply involved in the whiskey community in general. I love doing single barrel picks. I know Jake just joined one of the groups I'm in, and
I was forced into it.
Yeah, forced
Yeah,
into
I
it. That's
was.
true. He came kicking and screaming.
Sorry.
I woke up one morning and I was part of a New Jersey barrel picking club. I was like, this smells weird.
But yeah, so now
That's a good reason to go to New Jersey.
It's the only reason.
Is that a euphemism for something? Like the New Jersey The Barrel Club?
Oh.
first rule about New Jersey Barrel Club is yeah, I've been doing that now for almost a year now, year in November. It's certainly interesting. I'm definitely making far less than I used to, but I'm doing what I love, and that's what counts to me.
So took us up to the top of Johnny's nipple or whatever it was.
Johnny's
and,
nipple was a good one.
Anthony's nose.
Anthony's nose.
Yeah,
right.
Anthony's nose. So Beastmasters wanted to do an interview, and the only prerequisite was that we do it on top of a mountain. So we did blueberries and bourbon that day. Picked some
Yeah.
blueberries.
Yeah, we
and,
found some
and,
wild
That was awesome. That was a
and
good
drank
time.
some bourbon for about an hour and a half, and missed recording the first 20 minutes of the podcast because things happen.
We smoke a lot of weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway,
what's your
so
first
pick for my bourbon is actually from the group I was just mentioning, the New Jersey Char Society, is a Maker's Mark Private Select Barrel. Maker's Mark, a lot of people think is an entry whiskey. It's a wheated whiskey, of course. But with their new barrel pick program, what you do is choose 10 staves. Each of them impart. There are 5 staves to select. You choose 10 of them. Each of them impart a type of flavor. So there are thousands of different combinations. And when you pick your combination, what they do is give you aged product, and then you use it in 1/10 increments, and you basically build a taste flavor profile. Then you take cast strength Maker's Mark, dump it in a barrel, let it age for about 4 or 5 months with those staves, and the end result, they are very unique, very different. Am I allowed to say what we were going for on the flavor profile?
Sure.
We labeled this a butterscotch bomb. So please taste, try it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
I mean,
cheers,
that's a-
everyone. Enjoy.
Cheers, guys.
It's a bit of an understatement. I kind of get like a rice pudding almost. Like it's like really good, creamy, a little sweet but not too sweet. Like it's really good.
Please save your tasting notes for the.
Was I not supposed to do tasting notes yet?
No. You will not yet. But so.
I'll
Shane,
just
would you
repeat
like
that
to
exact same
also
thing.
introduce yourself while they
I thought
sip
you were
on
supposed to
Nate's
talk to
lovely
you.
Maker's
Back in
Mark?
the gate, Dana. Back in the
dare
gate.
My name is Shane. I'm a lot less interesting than this guy. I'm a graphic designer, web design. I work for myself. Probably still make a lot less money than this guy.
Doubtful.
I'm from Connecticut, which is bourbon and Scotch wasteland. We have 2 huge markets, just one state in each direction, so we don't get any love. So it was just kind of cool. I had to journey outside of my state to look for these. But
I'm enjoying this bearded table. I think Nate's won that battle already.
Oh, yeah.
But
Look at that.
We're segregated.
Wait, this is segregation. I mean, I
Beard
can't
versus
grow
under.
facial hair.
Don't
but
assume my facial hair, Jake.
All right.
all right. So let's. What's your first contender here? What's your bourbon?
So I brought an Elmer T. Lee, which used to be like a $34 bottle.
Miss those days.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I see them on Wine Searcher for like $200.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's why they're still on Wine Searcher.
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of silly, but most places I can still find it for like $40-45. It's nice Buffalo Trace, easy drinker. When I see them on a shelf, like I buy one no matter what, even if I wasn't looking, just because they're getting so hard to find. It's just kind of, stock them, sit on them, put them in the bunker, and when you can't find them, you can drink it, crack one open. Yeah. So
All right.
this is from my bunker. So
Sweet. So we
Thanks
got
for sharing with us, man.
Nate's Private Barrel Maker's Mark versus Elmer T. Lee.
Just let us know when we're allowed to speak, sir.
Dana, why don't you start us off?
Mrs. Beast.
Listen,
This is tame, by the way. She's treating me well in public. I get
why
much
we
worse at home.
You're not necessarily treating her so well. I've got to defend my fellow judges here. Like, this is like it's a little bit of abusiveness.
There'll be a
maybe.
face-off later. No, I already
versus
gave my
non-beards?
tasting notes, so maybe you can just
No,
like,
give your
edit
give your
that
tasting
in,
notes and give your vote. Your tasting notes on
So-
1 and 2.
Stop
and any vote.
mansplaining how to do this. Just fucking let it happen, okay?
Exactly. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So excellent choices, gentlemen, bearded gentlemen. I mean, I gave the first tasting note. I think that Nate's choice is really good, really rich. Definitely butterscotchy rice. I gave the rice pudding example, but I think it kind of gives like a real richness, and it's intense. I mean, it's a good. There's a lot of flavor. I mean, I like Makers. I like it straight. I just like a regular Makers. And this is kind of like plus 100 times 100, whatever. I don't know. I'm jet lagged, so if I make no sense,
Makers on steroids.
Yes.
Intenser makers.
Yeah.
Tensor makers. I like that.
The Elmer is great. I mean, you're right. It's really drinkable. To me, it doesn't give enough. Like, it's not as like it's really
certainly
kind of
not
mellow.
bold.
And head to head, I gotta go with Nate's pick.
All right. Jake, why don't you? Randy.
So,
little pitchy.
Dog.
So is this okay? Can I go
Rubber
now?
match.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So I had a rubber match. Damn it! Why do I ask questions? Aromatically, I thought it was super nice. It was extremely aromatic. It jumped out of the glass. The nose was very intense.
You talking about the makers?
About the makers, yeah. So
Makers.
bourbon number 1, Nate's choice. So it was really great. And usually from a Maker's Mark, I don't get that kind of level of aromatics or like a nose that is more than one noted. So this is really nice. I'd be curious to know what the proof is on it, which I'll ask.
Yeah, it's 111.2.
Okay. Also on the nose, it was like really woody, really sawdusty. Like, to say it's woody obviously sometimes sounds silly because like it spends its life inside of a barrel. You'd smell woody too if you did that. But like it was a standout. Like the wood was there on the nose. It was sawdusty. It was a little bit minty and herbal. So the nose had a lot going on. The palate for me had a lot of like cola and like sarsaparilla. Like it tastes a little bit like root beerish. The only thing that bothered me was that I thought the alcohol was just a little bit disjointed, so it distracted.
Little forward.
Yeah, it was a little hot, so I think it distracted from the flavors just a little bit on the back end, which for me was a disappointment because those flavors were so great and so immense, and then all of a sudden they were just gone by the burn.
I'm sorry you were disappointed.
But it was great. I'm still drinking it.
It doesn't
and
count,
it's
but
really
try
good.
it after the competition. Try it with a drop of water, but don't do that before.
Okay, sir.
After.
You could keep your water over there.
So really good pour, man. I mean, that's awesome. As far as Maker's Mark go, that's like the most unique thing I've ever had of theirs. The Elmer T. Lee, I didn't know it was Elmer T. Lee when I was smelling it. Great nose, really fruit forward. I like that it had that like softer, fruitier side. Really well integrated. This kind of like a damp tobacco thing that I really liked and I picked up on. So I totally dug that. And then on the palate, it
Damp
was
tobacco.
yeah, it smelled like wet. Like if
Okay.
you're like
Yeah.
huffing like a blunt
But
wrap,
not
like right
wet,
about to
not
roll
wet,
it.
but damp. Yeah, a blunt wrap, like a blunt.
Yeah.
Blunt.
Like shitty
like
tobacco,
a blunt
but
that
like
had
damp.
been licked
Like the
all
end of the
over it.
blunt that's all spitted up.
Yeah.
And like,
It's like
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah, but like with
specific.
your saliva.
The roach.
Yeah.
Like eating
And
the
disgusting.
That's good.
Yes.
That was very good.
We want to hone in on the real specificity of the flavors.
We've gone beyond Band-Aids.
Yes, we
As
have.
tasting
roach. I was
notes.
gonna
Yes.
say you can learn.
How old is this?
Not just tar and Band-Aids.
all right, Jake. So you got to vote, bro. What do you got?
I choose Shane's. I choose the Elmer T. Lee. I just
right.
thought it was a little bit more well balanced and really well integrated.
Judges are 1-1. Mr. Paluba, what are your tasting notes?
Yeah. If you had told me that Nate's pick was a Maker's, I'd have probably been surprised. I think they're doing a nice job with the staves and the barrel program. I'll agree that it has a nice, rich butter scotchiness. I picked up a little bit of spice too, and I enjoyed this. Like, I'm not necessarily a huge Maker's fan. It's nice though because you can definitely pick up the weeder attributes on this immediately, even on the nose. And I don't know, maybe they're making a resurgence in this whole weeded bourbon craze and fanaticism. You know, everybody goes nuts for the weeded stuff. But I was impressed by this, like in a way that I would not have expected to be. So I'm gonna give points for that. And I really like this one too. I actually thought that this had a nice blend, really well integrated. I think, like Jake was saying, of the fruitiness, but also a nice spice note to it. Like it's got a little bite. It's got a little of that spicy, peppery mintiness to it. For me, it's a little bit of a toss up, but I'm gonna give it to Elmer T. Lee.
Ah, all right. All right, so judges, rip off your little tag, and then I guess it's time for everybody else to vote. We have 2-1 for Shane's pick in round 1 from the judges. You all have to tear off a thing. And
But everybody here should know, right? So all of you guys sitting out
You
here,
should all know that I was right.
our opinions count for nothing. So this
Except mine.
you guys are deciding this contest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your votes will decide what we have to say. I mean, you shouldn't even really listen to us. We're just
Don't listen to
talking-
We're
him.
just eye candy,
They're
obviously.
gonna judge you based on what you pick.
People
so.
like what they like.
He's lying.
You guys should like what you like. Vote for what you're into. Don't listen to us. I mean, we're only people who have our own bad tastes.
all right, is everybody ready?
Are we ready for round 2? Are we ready to go to Scotch?
No, we're going to declare the winner of round 1.
Did you tally the votes already?
I have them right in front of me. So, are we ready? Drum roll. Nate's count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shane's count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12-7 for round 1.
Well done,
Shane
sir.
Helmick.
Thank you.
All right. Helmick T.
So,
Lee.
regardless of my vote and Jake's vote, still the winner.
Yes.
Still the winner.
Even if we take away the 3 judges' votes, it would be closer, but still the winner.
Which is good to know when you play around with these election mathematics.
Russian hacking aside.
How many Russians are out there? I see a few.
I don't play around with election mathematics. I don't play around with mathematics, and I don't vote. So there you go.
I'm really bad at
You
the
should
maths.
vote.
I'm just kidding. Don't give me that look,
hell?
you politically charged.
Oh, wait, stop.
motherfucker.
Gentlemen.
Be somebody.
All right. Ding, ding.
right.
Round 2. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch. What do we got?
All right. So for my selection for Scotch, I chose something that was very near and dear to my heart, and it was my last remaining bottle of it, and I was loath to do it, but you know what? I share the majority of my whiskey anyway, so I figured what would be the better time to do it. So
Like a true gentleman.
I'm not trying to sway your vote or anything like that.
hey, I thought we were getting political. Oh, we're not? Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway,
Mine was brought here.
we're
by
gonna build a
Marine.
whiskey wall, and
He was an injured Marine.
so anyway. So what I chose for this is one of the distillery that actually got me into Scotch, which is Springbank, which is one of my, and still is, probably my absolute Scotch distillery. This particular expression is their 12-year Burgundy cask, which for me, I have had many, many of their expressions. This, for my palate, everyone's palate's different, for my palate is my absolute favorite. So for me, it's incredibly rich. Finish, it just goes on forever. And if you haven't had Springbank before, which I'm assuming many of you have, but if you haven't, I hope this is your gateway Scotch, because it was for me. The Springbank 15-year was the first Scotch I appreciated, and then, well, if you drink Scotch, you know it's a vicious cycle after that, and your wallet just slowly and slowly decreases. So, yeah, that was my selection for this.
Moose story. All right. Springbank 12-year Burgundy cask. Who wants to start it for our judges? Ben, would you like to start this round?
I'll get into it.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
you
I'm
know,
sorry.
We need to do the
I
other
screwed
one,
it up.
though. We're way out of sync. We need
Scotch two.
Shane's pick.
I'm
So-
2 cups in and I'm already fucking it up.
So I'm
How
pretty
dare
sure
you.
most of us here have the same story, same like whiskey genesis story. I won't bore you with the long, boring details of mine, but
Thank God.
this bottle was a turnaround for me. Like when I had it, it became clear suddenly. Like, what have I been drinking this whole time? This is amazing. Like everything else is so terrible. It was kind of tough to pick too because it's so traditional and obvious. It kind of like I wanted to put on a good show, you know. Like you guys are here to drink whiskey and try something.
Can't go wrong with a classic, though.
Yeah. So this is Lagavulin 16, which I mean, every whiskey person I talk to, like, there's a 2 out of 3 chance that this is the whiskey that got them into it.
That's true for us.
True for the Beastmasters in general.
Yeah.
Like this is the reason that Beastmasters exists and that Smoky Beast was started. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, super accessible, very like a nice integration of all the sherry components and everything. Kind of tampers it down a little bit, so it's not like drinking like a hot coal in your face or something. It's like, you know, you just got back from camping in the woods all weekend.
The classic Isla.
Absolutely.
That's
all right. So, okay. So Springbank 12-year Burgundy.
And the Log
Very
16.
interesting. And an old favorite, the Lagavulin 16. Nice peated Isla. All right. Now.
You ready for
Ben,
me to
would
run
you-
my mouth now?
There we go.
All right. So I don't often drink Springbank, but when I do, I really enjoyed this. What did you say? This is the Burgundy cask.
12-year Burgundy cask, yeah.
I do like some Burgundies, and I'm really into this. This is not my typical, great love in the Scotch world, in the malt world, but this is awesome. And I think this is like a really nice, like chocolatey cocoa toffee love bomb that's happening in here, and I'm super
Toffee
into
Love
it.
Bomb.
Toffee
Yeah, the
Love
toffee.
Probably the name of Ben's band.
Chocolate toffee love bomb.
I would go see
I'd go
that
see it,
show.
yeah.
And
I would only drink Springbank during it.
I would say, like, obviously Lagavulin was probably my first love in all of malt whiskey, and maybe in all of whiskey. And I am a huge fan. This is like, you can never go wrong with a Log 16, just the straight up Lagavulin. What you can pretty much find almost anywhere for around $70 a bottle. It is probably the standard by which we at Beastmasters Club judge
everything, right?
whiskeys by in general, especially pricing. So we'll look at something and say, how much is that bottle? Oh, that's a $90 bottle of some weird craft whiskey. That's
could get-
kind of I could get
get
a
a
bottle and a
Lagavulin
half
16.
of Lagavulin for that. Like, no, thank you.
Yep.
So I think it's a standard. It's a stalwart. It's one of the best whiskeys in the world. You can never go wrong with it.
It's kind of like the hot young
You can
French
find
chick
anywhere.
versus the old standard.
But
Let's go.
tonight I'm going with the hot young French chick, just for variety's sake.
Don't tell your wife.
No way.
All right.
Cheers.
Daisy, what did you think of the hot young French chick?
From
I've
Scotland.
been known to dabble, but you know. So, I am not typically a fan of Springbank, but this is delicious, and it's very like I almost get like a briny, salty, oceany kind of nose end taste here, and I think it's good. Like I'm not usually into that, but I think that this is really delicious. It's really unique. It has a really good. It's just good all around. It's a really drinkable but a little bit funky, which is good. I like that. I mean, that's something that I look for in what I drink. However,
You're also not a big wine finish person, but you dig the Burgundy?
yeah, no, I think it's it's not like they finish it in like a Pinot Grigio or like a Chardonnay, you know. I mean,
Yes,
it's,
gotta hate those barrel aged Pinot
Although,
Grigios.
maybe we've got something there. You never know. Nothing beats Lagavulin 16. It's the bet for me. It's the best whiskey that ever. It's the best Scotch. It doesn't get better than that. It is the thing that brought me into drinking brown liquor. Period. It's earthy, peaty, smoky, insane, affordable-ish. Not really. It's not really, but like in my mind now, I'm like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
And so I have to go with a Lagavulin. It's
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like Shane probably read our blog and knew he had one vote in the can.
I mean, and the truth is that you could have, you could have brought anything. It could have been Springbank. It could have been, anything. And really, to me, I mean, for me, Lagavulin 16 it's my winner always.
All right.
You're not gonna lose.
Nope.
Not gonna lose.
1-1, Rubber Jake.
I don't like this is coming down to me.
It's not. This is just
coming down to the
commentary. It's all
people,
about them.
Jake.
So
I know. Okay, so I was really surprised too. So I actually didn't know what either of these were going in. I did see the Springbank bottle, but I thought it was an 18-year, just from what I saw. So to find out that it was a wine cask finished one made me really surprised because I cannot usually stand wine barrel finished malts unless it's like a fortified wine like port or Madeira, something like that.
Yeah.
But usually, like I think my least favorite scotches I've ever had have been finished in some kind of red wine cask.
Is that the red bone?
Oh my god, it's so bad. So bad.
What's the red
I
bone?
poured Jake it was, I can't remember, it was like a Chieftain's or something, and
Yeah.
it was called like the red bone. And
Well,
it's been
because
our,
a bone is like
it's
an
been-
area of Burgundy, so it was a similar finish to
it's
this.
an area of
Yeah.
Burgundy, sure. But yeah, the red bone has a legendary status amongst the most disgusting malts
It
we've
was
ever
horrible.
tasted.
That was literally like the only review that I ever wrote that was like so disdainfully like negative towards
Yeah.
something. I felt really bad,
How
but
dare
it was
you.
it was terrible. Okay, so this is not terrible though. I'm a huge fan of Springbank. I love their shit. It's like for some reason whenever I smell Springbank, I can just tell that it's Springbank because it was one of my first loves too. I really do love it.
Jake, you turned me on to the Rechar sherry thing
That's
they
amazing.
do too.
Oh my God,
yeah.
So
It's really good.
Springbank
Yeah.
takes
Really good.
takes old sherry barrels and then flamethrowers them after they've been dumped
Yeah.
out of the sherry and then fills them up with malt, and it's
That
like,
was over the budget, so I think those are 19
Yeah,
euros.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like,
Either way,
Fair
if
enough.
you
Yeah,
get your
it was
hands,
tough.
if you
Yeah.
get your hands on one of
went $5
those
over. I'm
recharged
proud of myself.
sherry barrel Springbanks, that
Those
stuff
are
is
sweet.
absolutely
I
incredible.
mean that was only a one-time thing. That's not really around.
Yeah, it's like
anymore. But-
189
Anyway.
a bottle, I think.
Okay, so so for this though, like a huge affinity in my heart for Springbank. So this one was like really earthy and warm peat. There was this little bit of like salt and vanilla bean, really oceany influence. I got that kind of briny thing too that some of the other guys mentioned. On the palate, it was super dry and really damn flavorful, kind of unctuous. Really like it was a little bit Band-Aidy. It had that like little bit of acetone thing
There we
going
go.
on, but
Somebody
not.
had
gotta
use
get the
the Band-Aid.
Band-Aid tasting note in.
But it wasn't bad, you know, like not in a horrible way.
not super iodine-y, not like a Lafroig.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like very briny, but extremely like I liked it a lot. I thought the flavors were really well integrated, and I loved that it was a really dry finish, even though it's had that fruity nose. I thought it was a really, really particularly nice dram. The Lagavulin 16. I feel like I need to do my Ron Swanson. It was, I mean, what can I say? It was just really good. It was roasted and, that marshmallowy campfire smoke and chocolate.
Wait, it's
malt.
smoky?
Yeah, it was smoky.
Smoky. Oh.
I don't know if you know this, Ben.
Did you guys taste smoke on that one?
It was like making love to a keyhole.
like making
Wow.
love
Yeah.
to a keyhole.
Wow, I've
You're the
never-
only man I know who can do that.
Ron Swanson never said that. Ron Swanson never said that.
Swiss Army knife of lockpicks in your
Yeah.
pants?
That's
Like, what's
not
going
something
on
you
here?
want to
What is
brag
it?
about,
You'll,
my friend.
I'll,
you know?
I'll explain it to you when you're older.
You're freaking me out. I
so-
think I want to move further
See-
away from Jake.
Yeah, Dana's inching
on
away
here?
as we speak. I mean, unless it's like a church with a mighty big keyhole, that's not something you want to brag about.
I mean,
you know?
Steve,
know
I-
what you're doing
Portcullis,
right now.
maybe? I don't know.
I'm glad your wife is
Gentlemen-
between me
gentlemen.
and Jake right now. That's about all I know.
I think you're getting distracted from my point.
It
Sorry.
truly wouldn't be a podcast with Jake unless something wildly
Crazy,
inappropriate or disgusting was said.
Jake tries to make love to something every podcast.
It's like a once in a lifetime
He's
experience.
always rubbing up against keyholes.
Was it a burning keyhole? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, whoa.
So either way, it was very fucking good. I really loved it. I think like the integration of the smoke and all that stuff, it's just so good. It's oily, it's viscous, it coats your palate, it's amazing. And it always tastes the same, and you just know to expect that
They
it's
know
going
what
to
they're
be
doing.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
This is really hard for me because I think I genuinely enjoy drinking more like on a sip-to-sip basis, the Lagavulin 16. But I think that the Springbank was a little bit more exciting and changed like my perception a little bit. So I'm going to
All right,
go with...
turn that
I'm-
sticky lock, Jake.
I'm
What,
going to... Hey, listen. The lock... The
I
keyhole...
hope once we get to the beer, all this double entendre game is going to fucking stop.
The keyhole never called back.
All right. So you're voting for the
And I was
Springbank,
left
that
lonely,
is.
so I'm voting for the Springbank.
All right, so
Thank
2 to
you,
1.
Thank you for choosing
For-
my keyhole,
Wrong.
Jake.
Wow,
For Nate
boys
on
versus
this
girls
round.
here at the judges' table.
Boys versus girls.
All right, are we ready for the winner of round
Are we ready to
2?
tally? Are there any
Round
more
two.
questions from the peanut gallery? Do you guys have? All right.
How's everybody doing? Everybody good after those rounds? Yeah, all right.
Insert cheers.
Yeah, we've got a laugh track too.
I like having these all just being surrounded by pictures of bearded men. This is sweet.
My dog
So-
would be so happy.
Yeah, it's
A lot of dogs too.
Just to tell you guys, Steve did an amazing thing with these tasting mats that you all have. And for the folks on the podcast, just to give you a little context, the voting is actually done through ripping off a picture of either the face of Nate or the face of Shane. So we're actually looking at photos of them as we tally the votes.
I think these are both their Facebook photos, and they're both with their dogs.
Yes,
So
that is correct.
Yeah, you guys are gorgeous. Your beards, your dogs.
That's because they both know how to attract women.
Yeah.
My dog does, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
And the winner is, so we have for Nate's Springbank 12 year, 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote, 4 vote, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Whoa!
To Shane's 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Holy crap!
Wow. It was good. He had a good pick.
So we're tied.
We are tied.
Wow!
One round each. Well, congrats, gentlemen. On the whiskeys, you guys are splitters.
So now we have to move to the inferior liquid.
roll out that.
I just want to say, I had all kinds of dirty tricks planned for this that I didn't use. I was going to bring like cask strength sherry bombs and sour beers and shit.
Yeah, you should have.
You're welcome. I didn't try to kill your palates.
There you go.
Hey, I think it's
Well, you should have.
I still have one
pretty
more
well.
trick up my sleeve.
Well, we went American first, smoke second, and now we're going to beer.
Now we're going to beer.
Now, this
Well,
is something that we've never done before on
I was
Beastmasters
hoping this would
Club.
happen so we could do the beer round. So, thank you guys, obviously.
Well,
Jake,
well done,
you gotta-
audience, for choosing and splitting.
Bring your own,
Fans
bring
and
your
shit.
own
we got-
nasty Jack Daniels.
We got BYOJ. BYOJ. Bring your own
Nice.
Jack.
Are you guys pouring Jack
Classy.
Daniels out there?
And you don't offer us any?
Now it's a party. Now it's a party.
I demand a recount.
All right. I like it.
all right, come up here, my friend.
But-
Come up.
Come on,
up,
I mean-
come up.
Now you have to join.
But I mean, you just shouldn't be buying Jack Daniels for that same price. I could direct you something.
So one of our
Is that 90 proof?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, 90 proof Jack. Okay.
one of our
so
beast
it's a
one
little
of our
classy.
Beastmasters has brought a bottle of Jack Daniels. Can you explain what's happening here?
Yes, let us know.
Okay, this is an 84 90 proof Jack Daniels that I just got today. I thought I would bring it with in case you guys were
right.
talking too much and not drinking enough.
Excellent.
All right.
Cue applause.
A 1984 Jack Daniels. Sweet.
The question
Yes,
was,
that is
hey,
Jack
do you
and
guys
drink.
want some of my Jack
This
Daniels?
is a Jack
Yes,
Daniels
we do.
from the
Just a
same
little bit,
year
man. Thank you so much for sharing.
Van Halen 1984 as like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Maybe
There you
even,
go.
that might have been 1982. But I like the 80s.
Thanks for
I'm
bringing
kinda
that.
feeling it.
Wow.
We should be in a DeLorean drinking this. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Okay, round 3.
Delicious.
One bourbon, one scotch. Everyone, one beer. Bum, 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 bum.
ain't seen my baby in 9 years.
All right, Nate, you got a dark looking one here.
Well, I mean, calm down.
All
All right,
right,
let's
what
talk
do we
about
got?
beer, I guess.
All right, so for beer, I kind of wanted to. So one of the things I do on my Instagram page is I do pairings with whiskey and beers.
Yeah, they're often really good.
I call it brew with a view. And so what I
Brew
wanted
with
to
a
do
view.
is have
Oh, that
two
rhymes.
different whiskeys, and one beer that would kind of correlate. So I wanted the sweet intenseness of an appetizer, more of the rich, flavorful entree, and for the dessert, I chose a very dark, rich, chocolatey dessert that also has high alcohol content to kind of help you taste it, because after drinking this much whiskey, your palate's going to be kind of shot. So I wanted something to kind of rejuvenate and bring a little more life to it. So this is Evil Twin, even a little more Jesus.
Even a little Mo Jesus.
A
Thank
little
you,
more
Jesus.
Jesus. So,
So Evil Twin is the brewery,
yes, Evil Twin is the brewery.
and even a little more Jesus.
A little more Jesus.
A little more Jesus. Okay.
So is this a
And
stout?
It's a dark, yes. It's a dark stout, which I think is just full of the dessert notes that I would want, which is a little more bitter, a little more mocha, coffee, chocolate, coconut type deal.
So you did a weeded appetizer, and then a red wine entree, and then a dessert beer.
You told me bonus
the theme.
points
I like
for
the
doing
theme.
a
I
little-
dig it. That's cool. That's cool.
That was my secret.
Very
weapon, by the way.
Themes, yes,
I
thematic.
tried to do a
All right.
theme.
I was told to do themes.
All right, Shane, what have you got for our one beer?
Yeah, what are we beering?
So I'm from Connecticut. I searched for a long time to find something kind of local. I don't know, because beer is kind of the thing that you can find really good beer wherever you live, somewhere kind of close by. So this is Sip of Sunshine. It's from a Vermont brewery that actually brews it in Connecticut at Two Roads. Two Roads does a lot of itinerant brewing, like Stillwater does stuff there. There's a lot of stuff people don't even realize comes out of Two Roads. So this stuff, when it comes out in Connecticut, they usually only sell you a 4-pack.
Right.
Apparently, Nate almost brought some. Actually,
I almost brought the same one.
telling me earlier, he found the one store in Connecticut where they would sell you more than a 4-pack. So I had to go back to the store twice because they wouldn't sell it to me all at once. Like, yeah, I even told him what it was for. Didn't matter. No.
So Shane went in, bought a 4-pack, then went back in with a fake mustache and a hat, and bought another 4-pack
even
just
bigger
for you
As long as you didn't
guys.
shave down your beard. That's all I care about.
Really worthwhile.
I had a bald cap for my chin.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we got a little bit of Jesus versus a sip of sunshine. Ooh.
Sip of sunshine versus a little bit of Jesus.
Who didn't go first?
I haven't gone first
Oh,
yet. Can I
Jake,
go
okay.
first?
Jake,
Rubber
go
Jake.
first,
Well,
please.
you have to silence the minions first.
Jake, get in.
Okay.
Hey guys, can we
Excuse
get
me.
Can we get a moment? Can we get a moment?
I'm just
We're
kidding,
almost
guys.
there. We're
We know
almost
you
there.
guys have been drinking and been feeling fine, but please bear with us for 5 more minutes.
Jake's
All right.
gonna pontificate about the beer now. Go ahead.
Jake, get your rubber on.
Strap it up.
Keyhole.
I will never go back to that.
If you're gonna make love to a keyhole, you want to be wearing a rubber.
Yeah, if you're
Only
gonna
once.
make love to a keyhole, make sure you've got plenty
Was it a
of
rubber keyhole?
Guys,
Okay, what do you got?
I think you're harping too much on this. This stout, color-wise, is fucking beautiful. Like I love how dark it is. It's really inviting. It almost looks like it's like cold brew coffee or something like that. Just it's amazing.
thick.
It
Deep
looks
and dark.
It looks desserty. You know, like it looks heavy. It looks like it's gonna warm you up no matter what. It just looks great. It smells fantastic. It's super aromatic. It's really rich. It smells a little hoppy to me on the nose, but again, that's because I'm not used to hops. On the palate, though, it's like super viscous and fat and oily, and it has this like really beautiful like molten chocolate cake thing going on, and like coffee grounds. I really dig it. I think it's super flavorful, and that for me, what ruins the flavors of beer a lot is that dryness of hops. That like it's like having too much tannins in wine. It just like it distracts from the flavors immediately. So it's like, oh, that tastes good. Oh wait, it's gone. The flavor really hangs on before the hops kick in. So I think it's really good and really well integrated, and I loved it. The IPA, Shane's Choice, smells awesome. It's super floral. It's really honeyed and pretty, super golden. So on the nose, I really love it. However, there's this thing that I just can't get past. It smells like a fucking sweaty gym sock.
I got that too.
Dude.
There's a BO thing going
It
on.
smells like BO. Like I smelled
Seems like
this.
we got some
Totally
acknowledgement of
does.
that in
I
the
smelled
audience.
this and I looked
Totally
at
does.
Dana and I was like, "Yo,
There's
when?"
a funk.
I was like, "When did you get off that flight?"
And I was like, oh, I love
So
that.
I guess
smell.
you're not
so
a fan
delicious.
of Old Fitzgerald 12 year. If you don't like the sweaty gym sock note.
Well, that's a
No,
discussion.
I
for another
totally
time.
got the BO thing. I
But it
totally
smells
got
like
that.
BO. It
Yes,
smells pretty
absolutely.
bad. This smells
I
like
kinda like it, though.
Like an early morning. What's wrong with you guys? You guys are a match made in heaven. Because Dana was like, "I know it's horrible. I love it. It smells so good." So either way, I think the aromas are great. It smells really good, but I just can't get over that note, and for me, it sours it for me. So not my favorite. But
All
the
right,
nose
one
is
vote
great.
for Nate and the Jesus.
The Jesus.
Dainsy, you want to go next?
So-
A little bit more Jesus.
Unlike
Do not fuck
unlike
with
Jake,
the Jesus.
unlike Jake, I'm a real man. And
Gauntlet thrown.
Oh yeah.
Heyo.
so I love.
Sorry, Jake.
I don't know a lot about beer, but I love beer, and like I will drink kind of anything, which makes me a little bit of beer slut. But it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I love.
So I've married a real man slut.
A real man slut. That's what you got.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Ding. Isn't I mean,
That's
come
your
on.
lady.
So, but I honestly like I love beer and I love stouts and I love IPAs. Like this is a really hard decision for me, and they're both
especially two
they're
different styles.
yeah. I mean they're both delicious. I mean I love like a good Guinness, like something really thick, really kind of like meaty in terms of the beer, in terms of the stout. I
In
mean,
terms
but
of men.
but in terms of men. I guess.
Someone's getting lucky tonight.
So, but I have to say that when it comes down to it, and it just kind of goes for my brown liquor in general, is that I always go for the funkiness. Like I like something that is like weird and funky and unusual.
You want it crazy.
I that's why I like the Lagavulin. It's like the first time we tasted Lagavulin, we were like, oh, this Scotch has turned. Like it's bad, you know. and it's like no, actually, it's very delicious, and like that's how it's supposed to be, and it's awesome.
I remember that night. Yeah, I do.
So, with that said, I think I go with the IPA, and the sweaty gym sock thing, while a turnoff for some, really that did it for me.
Well,
so
Hey. All right, so we're tied.
let's not go there, Jeff. Okay.
All right.
Not that
Paluba's
sweaty.
got the.
I just didn't want to say it because of the
I
keyhole
know the natives
comment.
are getting restless out here, so
Let's
I
wrap
won't-
it up.
I won't
Let's wrap
belabor
it
the
up.
point. So
hope Jake did.
I'll say
Are you
right now.
telling me to wrap it up again?
No.
Well, for
I'm
a keyhole,
saying
I'd hope so.
Simmer down. Really quickly, love the stout. It's very good. Like the IPA action as well. Both are awesome beers. I'm a huge beer fan. We never talk about this on Beastmasters, but I'm not going to get into it now.
Thank you.
I think they both have awesome merits. Personally, I'm more drawn to the stout. I'm going to cast my vote there. I just think it's delish.
Show's right.
It really just blew me away. I don't like stouts in general. I'm a huge Guinness fan. I drink the shit out of Guinness. Guinness is its own thing. It shouldn't even be called a stout.
You ever
it's
had
just
those
Guinness.
those chocolate bars with bacon in them?
Yes.
That's
Similar.
What, that's
yes.
what. That's what I get
It's
off
just
of this.
flavor awesome. Like if I had, I would almost say that if I was going at this from a beer drinker's point of view, which I haven't been in the last couple years, but I'm a huge beer drinker, I wouldn't drink a lot of it. I wouldn't drink a lot of this stout. I'd have one. But in the context of just rating my overall flavor preference, the stout is amazing.
All right, one
You
vote
know
for
what's
the
more
stout.
adorable?
Yeah,
You know
so
what's adorable?
I'm in on the stout.
I think what's adorable is how Ben and Jake voted together on everything.
Did they?
Except for the first one.
Except for Maker's Mark. Well, no,
that's not
you
true.
didn't.
No,
That's
we
true,
voted
that's true.
together every time.
That's true, you did.
Every
Did you
time.
vote the Elmer T. Lee as well?
Yeah,
Wanna-
it's been
do you
boys
guys wanna
versus
switch
girls.
seats?
I feel so sexist. Damn you, guilt. Damn you.
Let's get closer, Jake.
Please, I mean, gentlemen, please.
You have. I'm sorry, Ben, but
Ben.
that keyhole did
Don't show
damage.
Jake your keyhole. He just
No,
beat
you
me to
will
the
never
keyhole.
see
Damn it.
He got himself on that one.
All right,
Nice callback.
let's do it. Pass around the hat. Let's do the vote on the beers. We got a little bit
All right,
of Jesus
pass
for a
it
sip of
around.
sunshine.
Getting the boob now?
Whoa.
All right,
folks.
This is the
Let's simmer
closest
down for 1 second.
round yet. Definitely.
Okay, guys, simmer down now.
Simmer down.
We have one vote for Nate, one vote for Shane. 2 votes for Nate, 2 votes for
For the
Shane.
love of God.
3 votes for Nate.
Will
3
you
votes
take
for
that
Shane.
Dave Pickerel hat
votes
off?
each. If anybody's
Four.
counting at home, that's 10,
5.
15.
5,
Jeez,
6,
this many people here?
7
If
each.
there's a tie, you guys are going to have to fight in the middle of the
8
room.
each. I have 3 remaining Nate votes. We have a champion, ladies and gentlemen. Nate Woodruff.
Good game, good game.
It's not
Well
bad enough
done,
he gets
sir.
paid to do this.
Well,
Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight.
No, those were great choices.
I'll
I
be paying my
really-
$50 parking permit after this.
We do not validate.
That's the rub. That's the rub. We all lose.
Beastmasters Club does not validate
it's
parking.
not B&H.
All
They
right.
do not
Wait,
validate.
do you have, congratulations. Do you have any Joe Rogan UFC final comments?
No, I'm
Put the
not.
belt
I'm not.
on you.
I'm not in an isolation tank and high on drugs. So, just booze. This was awesome. I can't wait for the next one. I'm assuming I will have a challenger in the next 6 months?
Absolutely.
Oh,
we'll have to do.
we
I feel
can do
like-
another Oba
I
soap.
feel like this has to. It's not
no
going to catch.
Oba soap,
It's
no.
not going to
We're gonna
catch.
do another
I feel
Oba
like it's
soap.
catching on. I feel like it's
It should be on
it's not.
Thursday
It's
and
not
called George
catching on.
Thorogood Thursday. Just make it
Yes.
easy. People get
Shane,
that.
thank you. Valiant effort.
done.
How about a round?
Thank
for
you,
Shane
audience.
there?
Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Thank you, audience.
Steve.
Just for the record, you guys are welcome back anytime.
Anytime. All right. Thank you, judges.
Oh, God. Okay.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you, judges. Thank you.
Jake's putting his feet on the table, so I guess this is over now.
Jake is fucking flexible as shit. Jesus Christ.
That doesn't even look like a leg.
That leg is basically detached. Just so you guys all know in the audience, Jake has been on American Ninja Warrior on the show a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. His Whiskey Warrior moniker is not bullshit. He is a true Ninja Warrior.
It's all bullshit.
Well, it's all bullshit. Life is bullshit, and whatever you want to take with you.
Okay, Jim
But-
Carrey.
All right, Jim Carrey. I was going to say, yeah.
All right.
I am nothing.
All right. Congratulations,
Jake is
Nate.
a legitimate
Thank you, our
Ninja
judges,
Warrior.
our audience. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Awesome.
Yep, this
We're
is
gonna-
time to
we're gonna
drink
wrap
some.
it.
Wrapping it.
We're gonna all shut up now, and the booze will flow more freely. Cheers. For all you guys in podcast land,
Have a good time.
enjoy.
Enjoy. End of battle.
Mwah.